Please do attend. We'll have an expert group there. And Hakan, yes.
Why would you expect the consumers to pay $250 more for Desi or yellow peas and this trend to continue also in the new crop?
Well, if you ask my personal opinion, this spread is at a historical high. Primarily, I would put this to the distortion caused by a dry pipeline. So I think the front end of the pipeline has been squeezed, and we see the chickpea prices going so high. Having said that, we have had record stocks. Our yellow pea stocks in the country are in excess of 500,000 tons. So in scenarios like that, the relationship between yellow peas and chickpeas gets distorted. But having said that, we see the rate of consumption of yellow peas obviously increasing because India continues to be a very price-sensitive market. So we will see some adjustments happening. We will see the consumption level of chickpeas decreasing. We will see an increase in the consumption of yellow peas. But the weight of the stock being so large, we will see this spread come to more reasonable levels. I understand what you're saying, that the spread is normally 5,000 rupees, now it is 15,000 rupees, or to put it in perspective of US dollars, it was to be $100, and now it is $300. So yes, this spread, I believe, will correct. Either way, either the chickpeas will come down or the yellow peas will go up. The spread will correct. I would like Gaurav to add his comments because Gaurav comes from Gujarat and his comments are welcome, Gauravji. Hakan, can you have the mic too?
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you for showing इतना विश्वास दिखाया कि मैं कुछ बोल पाऊँ. मुझे लगता है कि पिछले साल इंडिया में 48 लाख टन के आसपास क्रॉप हुई थी और कैरी ओवर स्टॉक जो था वो 6 लाख टन था और इंडिया की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो 55 to 60 के बीच रहती है डिपेंडिंग ऑन प्राइस. तो इस साल भी मुझे लगता है कि क्रॉप जो है डाउन आएगी 44 to 46 के बीच आएगी और कैरी ओवर स्टॉक जो है ऑलमोस्ट 1 लाख टन अराउंड आएगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. तो इंडिया 7 से 8 लाख टन की शॉर्टेज में रहेगा कम से कम. इसको देखते हुए और दूसरा जो ये सब पैनलिस्ट ने बताया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी जो माल नहीं है और भी कंट्रीज़ जो बायर है, ये सब चीज़ों को देखते हुए और मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस जो गवर्नमेंट ने हाइक किया है, ये सारी चीज़ों को देखते हुए मार्केट को डाउन आने में बहुत कठिनाई होगी. और अगर 3100-3200 का लेवल दिल्ली का बन जाए तो इट वुड बी ए गुड रेंज टू बाई. एंड मैं हायर साइड में सुनील जी से भी थोड़ा पॉजिटिव हूँ. 42 से 44 के रेट देखने को मिल सकते हैं सर.
Thank you, Gaurav. Summarizing what Gaurav says, well, I don't want to give the numbers that he's saying because they are at such large distortion with the government numbers. But putting into perspective what he says, that the drop in the crop size versus last year is about 200,000 tons, but the drop in the stock level is much larger. It is 400,000 to 500,000 tons. So the overall shortage that we will see in the crop this year will be around 500,000 tons as compared to last year. So putting it in relative sense, the availability of chickpeas this year will be about 500,000 tons lower than last year. The other point that he makes is that he's giving us a price range. He says that once the crop is in harvest, he says that price at Delhi of 30,000 rupees or 31,000 rupees, am I right, in Delhi is a good buy. And he says that towards the end of the season, we might see chana reaching 40,000 rupees, which will be a record price for chana. Chana historically over the last 10 years has always been probably started in the range of 12 to 1400 rupees, spent many years except for the year 2006 in the 2200 to 2400 range, And this year we have seen this huge rally which took chana from 2200 to what it is today of 34 or 3500 on the futures. So this is Gaurav's interaction. We are running out of time. The Vice President has been signaling that we must conclude this session.
Dongre ji, just one more question to you. I think you are one of the most important person in the pulses industry. Not on the exact numbers.
Thank you.
Yeah, not the exact numbers, but if we could have, what do you think from the last year the crop would be higher or lower by percentage terms or by lakh tons? And very well said by Gaurav Bhai that the carryover is quite tight. I'm coming from Indore and I have been not particularly from the pulses industry but very closely tracking chana. The stock in Indore is ever low and the arrivals are not coming up in the way that should come. So it is going to be important because MP is the state which will define this year's overall price level, bullishness or average bullishness of the market. Bearishness, I don't think anybody in this hall says there will be bearishness in the market. So I think what's happening is that tight stocks have been making the market go as we are nearing the harvest. And what do you think is the stock? What is the crop situation? And state-wise also, if you could give some idea about the crop. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that compliment that you said, but I don't think I deserve that because I'm not in the crop mapping business, so I really don't know exactly what the stocks or what the production in every state is. I can go by a general estimate of areas where people who I know have traveled. We know there is a sharp reduction in Karnataka because of lack of moisture. We know there is a reduction in Andhra Pradesh because of lack of moisture, but also because Kabuli paid a high of 90 rupees a kilo last year, and we see some migration going to Kabuli. We see a reduction, some say 20%, some say 30% in Maharashtra. This is primarily due to lack of moisture at the time of sowing and subsequently retention of water for drinking purposes in the dams rather than letting it out for irrigation. So there is a reduction in Maharashtra. So we are looking at 3 states which harvest early to have shown that there is a reduction in crop. Coming to Gujarat, as Gaurav said, there is some reduction there. Rajasthan also there is some reduction. The crop that seems to be okay is only Madhya Pradesh. But yes, as I've repeated before, the pipeline is dry, so there is a front-end squeeze. I believe that seeing a record high price at the time of harvest, I think the farmer will bring his material into the mandis in Madhya Pradesh. We will see some correction, but there is no doubt that we conclude today that this year, for the rest of the year, we might end up seeing fairly high prices in chana unless MP comes out with a record crop. So concluding, ladies and gentlemen, today, my educated friends on the panel say that the old crop will trade between $640 and $660, and the new crop between $600 to $700 between the two companies. So thank you for your attention, thank you for your interaction, and thank you, panelists, for readily agreeing to be part of this and sharing your thoughts and views. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen Dongre. Kindly sit down. We want to give you some mementos. First, I'd like to present, Mr. Dongre will present a memento to Mr. Sunil Baldeva, please. Here, the memento is here. Mr. Dongre. To Mr. Sunil Baldeva first. Thank you, Mr. Baldeva of Siliguri Associates. To Mr. Jayesh Patel, Export Trading Group. To Mr. Pradeep Jindal, Jindal Overseas Corporation. And to Mr. Rob Braley of Pentag Nidera. Brett, I understand you already have one. the policy, you don't get more than one. But thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Mr. Dongre.